Studies have found that for businesses that are aware of AI softwares, 80% of those people believe that AI would help in growing their business. But the issue is, for most people, they don't know which tools to use. There's no point trying to hide from it. AI is all the rave at the moment. It's all anyone's talking about. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to suggest to you that AI will help grow your business. But I just think some of the ways that AI is being sold to us is unhelpful. Constantly I see content on how certain ChatGPT prompts will give you ridiculous outputs that will generate the best product descriptions, the best blogs for SEO and readability and psychology of words and the best landing page copy. Now, I'm not knocking ChatGPT. There's a reason it's a I don't know, probably trillion business at this point. And people are using it to make ridiculous amounts of money for their business. But I personally believe there are more effective ways of using AI and automation than just talking to a robot. Why not use the robots themselves? So there are certain AI and automation tools that I have used in my customer journey to make the process of finding, nurturing, and converting my leads as hands-free as possible. And so I suppose one of the key things to talk about off the bat is I'm not so much talking about AI, I'm talking about what I think actually not that many people are talking enough about, which is automation. There are tools for automations and sequences for automation that you can set up within your business that can make small but time-consuming tasks within your day-to-day a thing of the past. So I'm going to talk about each three of those parts of a customer journey. What did I say they were? So I want to take a look at those three steps: finding, nurturing, and converting, and what sort of automation tools you could be using in each of those steps. So first up, finding. First of all, and I'll just get it out of the way because it is a bit of a cheat, but ads. For ads, you don't have to go out to the thousands of people that your ads will be showing to. You set them up, you give your ads a target audience to go after, and they automatically will show your ads to the relevant audience. Now, where you can use AI within the creation of your ads is for things like copy, your descriptions, your headlines. This is where you will need to use prompts and talk to softwares like ChatGPT or Gemini, which, as a side note, I prefer to use Gemini over ChatGPT because if you're a cheapskate like me, I use the Gemini free version, which uses real-time data, as opposed to ChatGPT's free version, which does not. Now, of course, you need to be careful when creating any kind of text with AI. You want to make sure that it actually reads well. I'm sure for some of us, you can tell when a description or a post or whatever has been written by AI. And in fact, even universities I know are saying that they have software to detect if a paper has been written by AI. I don't know if that's true, if they're just using that to scare people off, but there are often times that you can tell. Another way you can use AI is through generating your creatives. There are a lot of softwares, and actually I think even in some phones it's built into their camera or photo apps or whatever. You can use AI to remove certain items from photos or to expand creatives. So the example off the top of my head, I think I remember Prime, the hydration drink, created an ad for their new lemon or lemonade flavor, and they released a video showing them creating the photo and how they used AI tools, I believe on Photoshop, to create a very snazzy and nice looking image. Another way you can use automations to find new potential customers is through emails. There are softwares that you can use to send out cold email campaigns to an email list, however you found that, and therefore can be reaching out to hundreds, maybe even thousands of customers a day automatically through pre-assigned email campaigns. So just quickly to plug the software that I use for this, I use Go High Level for pretty much all of the back end of running my business. I will leave a link in the description. Yes, it is an affiliate link, but I legitimately use it in everything that I do, so I'm not just trying to pinch a few pennies from you. So within your email system, software, whatever it is that you use, you can set up a series of emails that will go out to customers to advertise who it is that you are, what it is that you do, what it is that you're selling perhaps. And as I say, you can reach out to thousands of people a day, thousands of people a week, just by doing that. Now, getting an email list can be a difficult part of this process. You can pay people to find email lists for you on places like Fiverr or Upwork, I believe. Or there are a lot of softwares that will find email lists for you. So I know Apollo is a very common one that I have used before. Since we're talking AI, I know of, but have not used, a software called Clay, where you can find email lists, contact lists. I think they'll even get you lists for people's like LinkedIn profiles and Facebook profiles and things like that. And within Clay, they have ChatGPT, which I believe will generate for you per contact on that list. I believe it'll even go as far as to looking into their business, going to their website and scraping little bits and pieces of data and creating a personalized first line, which you could use in your emails, or if you're doing things like Instagram or LinkedIn DMing. As I say, I haven't used it myself, but from what I've seen, it can be rather powerful. Another type of automation that you can use for finding potential customers is an autoresponder. So what I mean by this is that you have posts that are going out on Facebook or Instagram, even LinkedIn, for example, and you can prompt people to comment or reply a certain word or a certain phrase. And in the example of Facebook, I believe within Facebook, they have a built-in autoresponder where if customers comment a certain comment, it will send them a specific personal message. So you can create a post of certain value, tell people to reply to you, like and subscribe, and set it up so that anyone who leaves that comment will get a specific message from you. And within there, you can sell a little bit, prompt them to fill out a form, book a call, whatever your heart desires. So moving forward to the next step of nurturing. First of all, and I would say this probably is more AI than it is automation, that is using a live chat on your website. Now again, I use the live chat feature within Go High Level to install and embed live chats on my website and my clients' websites. And where you can set up certain automations so that certain questions are prompted with certain responses. You can also use AI chat to have a conversation with your customers for you. And you can train your AI bot by giving it certain information, telling it to scrape certain websites. You can have like training conversations with it as well. It's kind of crazy. This definitely is one of my favorite current AI tools. That's certainly a lot easier to use than a lot of the other ones out there. Now, I've already spoke about this in the first part of finding customers, but you can also use email automations in nurturing your customers, or potential customers, I should say, rather. And this goes back to a topic that I've spoken about multiple times, which is how you differentiate how you talk to your audience depending on where they are in your funnel. So the emails that you're going to be sending out to a cold audience are going to be very different to the emails that you're going to be sending out to a slightly warmer audience who already know a little bit more about you. In here, one of the key things you want to be doing is handling objections. What are some of the common questions or barriers that you run into when trying to find customers for your business? Talk about those in these emails and try and prompt your audience to take that next step, to maybe book a call or try a sample or just buy whatever it is that you have to give them. And lastly is automations for appointment bookings. It can often be quite time consuming going backwards and forth with a lead and seeing if there's a time that works for both of you to have a meeting. So softwares like Calendly, where you can automatically put in your availability, send that link over to a customer, send that link over to a lead and ask them to book a time, or rather than send it over to the lead, just have it built in within your funnel, can save precious minutes of your very busy day. Or just to plug it once more, Go High Level does also have a calendar and appointment booking system in there as well. So if you really want to refine everything down just to one system, you can use Go High Level instead. So on to the final stage of converting. Now, firstly, I'm sure you knew I was going here. I'm going to use the same example again of emails. Specifically, I'm thinking here of abandoned carts or abandoned checkout emails. If we're looking at this as a funnel, where this is the top and this is the bottom of the funnel, people down here, there's a reason they put things in their cart. There's a reason they've sometimes even gone as far as to putting in their cart details, but just not pressing that order button. So prompting them and reminding them, oh, by the way, this was in your cart. Do you want to finish your checkout? Those sorts of things can be set up automatically. And I know platforms like Shopify will often have those on as default. But I would certainly say take a look at those email sequences because yeah, often it is like a default setting, a default email template. And you want to put your own personal spin on those so it doesn't just look like a bunch of plain garbage. There's definitely a few of these I could have repeated a few times. Ads could definitely be in either of these as well. I've spoken about how ads should be different in your certain parts of the funnel as well, but I wanted to try and give some variety. I know I'm cheating a little bit with emails, so maybe we'll just put ads there as well. Next, and I don't know particularly what to call this because it applies differently to wherever you are implementing this, but upselling to your customers. So this might not necessarily be converting because if you're upselling, likelihood is that they have already bought something or are buying something. But there are ways within your sales funnel, within your checkouts, where you can upsell to people and offer them more products, things that maybe go along with a certain I don't know, Sofa or Recipe Book, or another service that you offer that works hand in hand with the one that your customer is already checking out, rather than, you know, manually waiting to next time you have a conversation with them say, oh, by the way, we have this on offer as well. We're talking about making marginal gains here. Yes, that as a conversation might take you a minute, but then directing them to it, showing them where to find it on your website, etc., can take more minutes. But the more of these things we do, let's say that setting up some of these automation tools save you 30 minutes in converting a customer. As you look to scale your business, those 30 minutes are going to stack. So what might seem like a little thing can actually make a massive amount of difference. Now, one thing I'm not going to put on here because I feel like the technology for it is very early, and I certainly have not used it myself and probably won't be using it anytime soon, is your sales calls can use AI as well. I saw an example a few months back, I think it was Tesla or some big car brand, and they showed a sales call between a customer and their sales rep, and the sales rep was actually just an AI generated voice. And they answered all the questions and went through the whole sale process with the customer, all while AI generating the responses and all while using an AI voice to speak to the customer. I'm not gonna put it here because I could not tell you where to go to do that. And I feel like it's early technology. So at the time of posting this anyway, a year's time or whatever, if someone's seeing this, it might be the norm. But for now, we're gonna leave it out. But I will lastly put on a thing that might not seem like something that is relevant to be on here right now, or might not seem even worth saying, but I am gonna say it because I have been burnt personally, particularly in my early journey growing my business, where I had customers, I was doing work for them, and collecting payments was manual. I would have to send them an invoice and get them to transfer it over to me by bank transfer. And there are often times where I was doing work for clients and just wasn't being paid for months. I guess this might only be speaking to a few people, but to those who it's speaking to, this is an important point. Set up some sort of automatic payment provider, whether that just be like a standing order or through something like Stripe. Set up a subscription payment so that your clients who you're doing work for will automatically be charged. Again, as I often like to do, stating the obvious there, but for the one or two or few people that resonates with, please do get that set up, because not doing something like that left me in some seriously dark places early on in growing my business. So guys, if you enjoyed this video or found it of any value at all, please do like and subscribe to the channel. I've got loads more content coming up very soon. If you head to the link in my bio as well, I've got a case study example of how I used a system similar to this with one of my clients to triple their revenue in just 90 days. So be sure to check that out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.